Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. We're here with another installment about the Verdi Chorus, my favorite ensemble of Southern California, the amazing work of Anne-Marie Ketchum, and how much we love her and her ensemble. And I'm here today with the elite intergroup of the Verdi Chorus, the Fox Singers, just a handful of them, but they have a wonderful concert coming up. Music to Serenade, and we're very excited about the show, and all of these singers get opportunities for solos and ensembles and tighter ensembles. So I'm just going to go around the group and we'll introduce the handful of singers we have and get a little bit about their backgrounds. So I'll start with you, Alexandra. Alexandra, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Alexandra. I was born and raised in Southern California. I started singing from a young age, like many of my colleagues, and I eventually ended up at Oberlin Conservatory, where I did my undergraduate.
Great school.
And yeah, it was a really wonderful program. And I moved back here. I love all of the opportunities in Los Angeles, so I started singing locally, auditioning, the whole grind, and ended up at the Verdi Chorus, where I've made lots of wonderful friends. So yeah.
No, it's a great place to land. The California singers that get to sing there, back when I was young and a singer like yourselves, there wasn't a Verdi chorus like this where California singers get opportunities. We had to fight or make recitals or do everything we could. So that's very exciting to see all these people from the Midwest come out. Amelia, DeCoster, tell me about yourself. Hi.
Hi. Well, I started singing from a young age, but then I took a really, really long break. So I actually started singing in this capacity, in this way, in late 2020. I had a lot of time on my hands, so I actually started taking voice lessons via Zoom, and I'm still with that teacher today.
Wow.
So I dipped my toe in the audition pool pretty early on, and I was able to get into some things to kind of give myself an education a little bit. And then I found the Verdi Chorus through an Instagram post, because I started following all these little opera companies, and the Met, just things to follow. And then I saw that there was like an advertisement for auditions, and I thought, why not? So my first season with them was last year, the spring session. So I've been with the Verdi Chorus ever since, and it's been a really great part of my learning experience to keep learning new music and how to sing it and how to sing it well. So I'm very grateful to be with them.
Excellent. Well, welcome. It's always great to come back to singing too. Singing is a lifelong vocation. I think that people forget that sometimes, because if you were born a singer, you're a singer for life. It's like any other skill, talent, or disease. You're stuck with it.
Great way of putting it. Yeah, great way of putting it. Yeah.
Megan, I'm going women first, gentlemen. So Megan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I did undergrad at CLU and grad school at CSUN. That's how I found out about the Verdi Chorus. Everyone was going to the concert or they were in it, and so I had to jump on that. I've been in choirs my whole life, singing wherever I can, churches. I'm actually an artist at the San Diego Opera Company right now, going back and forth between my home in Northridge and San Diego, and we're doing Puccini, Suor Angelica, Gianni Schicchi duo right now. So that's so exciting, as I'm also preparing for this Verdi Chorus concert, and the music's gorgeous. But yeah, just born and raised in California, and the Verdi Chorus, it's one of my favorite organizations. I've been with them since 2018, and it's definitely an extended family for me.
Wonderful. That's great that you're plugging San Diego, also another great company in California, a long-term company that has had a huge history, almost parallel to San Francisco in terms of companies. So that's a great matchup. I love Suora Angelica very much. It's one of my favorite operas. And of course, Johnny Skiki is always hilarious.
Come see it.
Absolutely. Esteban, it's nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, nice meeting you too. Well, I am Esteban. I was born here in Los Angeles, but I grew up in Mexico. I encounter music over there. I always loved it. I always loved singing, but I never knew.
Oh, he froze. Come back, Esteban, come back.
No.
Well, Jamie, go ahead and tell me about yourself, and hopefully Esteban will reestablish.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Jamie. If you ask my mom, I've been singing since before I could talk. Um, yeah, I did my undergraduate at UC Irvine, down in Orange County. Went to grad school, got my master's at the Peabody Conservatory out in Baltimore. Then I came back this way. Honestly, is kind of a pandemic move, but I'm glad I did because I've met a lot of cool people. I got involved with the Verdi chorus, sort of through sheer dumb luck because I happened to be at another audition one day about a year ago, and then a friend of mine also was there, and he was like, "Hey, you should audition for the Verdi chorus." And me being new to the area, didn't even know what that was, but I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, this seems really cool." I was thankful that they were able to schedule me an alternate audition because I couldn't actually make the audition date. So I'm glad that all worked out. And so I didn't get the audition I was originally going for that day, but I did learn about this that day. So that was still, and got into this. So that was still a successful day for me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, this is really cool because, you all have interesting origin stories. And a lot of singers go through these struggles. It's like, well, where do I place myself? Is it New York? Is it the East Coast? Is it California? Where is it? And I think it's wherever you can get a gig at this point, right?
Yeah.
But it's good to have a home base in a place like the Verdi Chorus so you guys can work out your wares. Now, in reverse order, I'm going to go with Mr. Sanderson here. And what are you going to be singing in the concert?
I'm going to be singing Perrault's Tanzlied, Mein Sehnen, mein Venen. Which
not an easy work.
No, not at all. And I'm, super excited for it. It's honestly relatively new for me, but it's an aria I really love, and you get to show off a little bit in it too. So that's always fun. And it's just, I know it's such an emotional piece that I really enjoy.
It is. It's funny, some pieces you give out to the room, some pieces you have to pull the room into you.
Yeah.
And that is one of those arias. It's it's very contemplative, and yet it really has to hit its marks. So
yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Cool. Megan, what are you going to be singing?
I am doing a duet with Rachel Labovich. It's the famous Lakme Flower duet. That one is just breathtakingly gorgeous, and especially how Rachel sings it. I'm so excited to be singing that with her. I'm sure you know it. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it and they don't know exactly what it's from or what it's about. Like car commercials, I feel like it's
right.
Or I say, I'm sure you know and love opera and you've heard things on car commercials, but now you get to go to a concert and actually hear it done correctly. So that's Lakme duet for me. I learned it as a teenager, and so it's kind of like a revisitation. But that one is just, I don't know, it's a very tranquil song. And then I'm also doing Foire's Après un rêve, which means after a dream. And that was something that I fell in love with in grad school. It's just a very beautiful song and dreamlike. So I'm happy to be doing that. And then we have a lot of group numbers as well, including, the Vaughan Williams big piece that I'm excited for. The whole concert team.
Well, the thing I love about the Lakme duet from Lakme is that it's true. We've heard it on millions of commercials and everywhere like that, but nothing beats hearing it in person. with the actual, with human voices, and hearing those lovely parallel thirds and fourths and interesting harmonies that David has put in it. So I think it's quite marvelous. Cool. Amelia, what are you going to be singing?
I'm going to be singing a French art song as well, by Debussy, Nuit d'étoiles.
Ooh,
I
very
discovered
pretty.
that. I discovered it because I was poking around on YouTube, looking at Jesse Norman, and she sings it, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna sing this for the rest of my life. Okay. And then I'm gonna be singing Mi Tradi from Don Giovanni, which I'm
Ooh.
really scared about doing. That's a big one. It's a big girl. So I'm freaked out, but I'm working on it a lot. So I hope it's good.
Awesome. Well, it's
Yeah.
good to set challenges, right?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I mean, time is of the essence for me, so I'm just like ripping through it. I'm just trying to get all this rep.
Well, don't worry about the pace of the world. You go with the pace of you, and your voice will unlock itself.
Good point.
Believe
Good
me.
point.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
point.
It's easy to feel like there's a whole world running away out there,
Yeah.
But considering that Jesse Norman's one of your role models, I think you're in good hands. She's probably my all-time favorite singer, of lieder in particular, and chanson.
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant voice, brilliant breath, the whole nine. So it's very exciting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Alexandra, what are you going to be singing for us on the music to Serenade?
So the piece that I'll be singing is the Seguidilla from Carmen, which is another very familiar piece to a lot of people. During the pandemic, one of my like pet projects or just things I wanted to work on was working my way through the role of Carmen. So I'm really excited to bring this piece to stage. It's much more nuanced, than people think of it sometimes, right? Because a lot of people like to just play it as this like super sexy like escape, right, where she has all the power. But when you kind of delve into the text and the libretto and the score and everything, you realize, the way that the power dynamics play into it, the way, it's just way more complicated, and I think that's what makes it exciting.
Very exciting. It is a nuanced role, and because it's so famous, you have to find the nuance to make it your own, right? Because there's this version of Carmen, that version of Carmen, but with all these great opera roles, which is fun that for all of you who get to sing with the Verdi chorus and work your craft, they're all so profound, and they all have more to them. That's why they last forever. Someone was asking me, it was Mozart's birthday, and they were like, why is Mozart so popular? Oh. And I said, because he endured. Do you remember Salieri's work? Do you dance to Salieri's works mixed to hip hop? I don't think so. Some people are forever, like 100 years from now, Michael Jackson will be the Mozart of this last age. And his music will be as popular as Mozart's ever will forever. And I think that's the beauty of these classical composers. Bizet didn't know what he had written, and everybody hated it at first, but now it's the most famous opera in the world. Bohème, Traviata, and Carmen, right? Barber used to be up there, but I think even Barber has slipped a little bit with all those D major cadences. But anyway, Esteban is back, and we're glad to have him. All right, Esteban.
Sorry for that.
Oh, no, it happens. It's part of our lives in the technical world, so no worries. But tell me, Esteban, tell me about yourself. You said you were from Mexico, but you're from Los Angeles now. Where in Mexico are you from?
The state of Nayarit, that is close to Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. So
yeah, I know
really
that.
nice weather compared to LA.
Oh, yeah, much better. You get a real breeze.
Yeah. So yes, I encountered music when I was like 11. I started learning guitar at that time. Then at 15, I started learning classical guitar. And when I entered music school, it's when I decided, oh yes, I like singing. I'm not gonna lie to myself. So I'm gonna become a singer, and then I start studying voice at
Mhm.
the State University of Nayarit.
Excellent. They have
hmm
great vocal programs in Mexico. Some of our greatest
Yes.
singers, as you all know, come from Mexico, and it's hard sometimes to imagine because all we hear about is immigration and cartels and all
Yes.
this horror show. But there's
hmm
actually in Mexico a strong classical music and classical voice attitude that still permeates throughout the world with A-class singers. So
Yes.
I think people need to remember that it's not, even cartels love opera. Um,
They do.
well, that's it. What are you going to be singing on the program, Esteban? I asked
I
everyone
will
else that.
be, well, you were talking about Mozart, and I'll be singing Madamina, El Catalogo Questo from Don Giovanni from
Hmm.
Mozart. Yes. I'm actually pretty excited about singing that aria.
Oh, it's a brilliant aria. I think
Yes.
I was a young bass before I became a Helden tenor, and
Mm,
I sang, that was one of the very first roles I sang,
yes.
and it's probably the
Wow.
longest and most interesting of Mozart
Uh-huh.
arias. You know,
hmm Yes, I always think it's two arias in one.
right? Right?
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's long. It shows a lot of like the range. It has fast parts, really legato parts, staccato. Um, I just find that like the music is really interesting. And also the character, because everybody can just think, oh, he's just talking about Don Giovanni and bragging about all his the women that Don Giovanni has been with. But in a way, I think he wants that, but at the same time, he feels disgust by how he is, or at
It's
least that's
true.
the approach that I'm giving to this aria.
No, that's a great character arc for Leporello because in
hmm
the end, he doesn't get dragged to hell.
Yes.
He is the witness, so it's a chance for him to reform, which
Yeah.
I think all along in the opera he wants to, especially there's a sextet in the second act where he gets caught as Don Giovanni.
Uh
And
huh.
I think he starts realizing then that this is, it's kind of like,
This is not the way.
that's right.
Yeah.
um, cool, very awesome. So what? I'll just go around again, and if you all can just kind of tell me different ensembles that you're doing, just like one each. Let's start with you, Alexandra. Which ensembles are you singing in?
I think I'm singing in, well, we're all singing in all of like the big group ensembles. So
Mm,
there are five different ensembles. The one I find most moving personally is Serenade to Music, the Vaughan Williams.
mm.
I just, it just makes me feel like all of the things. Um, I mean, first of all, it's just so beautiful in my ear, and two, I really can't wait till we're all together in rehearsals, and I can kind of hear it all kind of like locking in and tuning with each other, and I think it's going to be very powerful. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Amelia, what about you? What ensemble
I,
are you excited about singing in?
I agree. I'm with Alexandra on this one. I've been listening to it and looking at it, and it reminds me a lot of what I used to sing in the high school choir that I was in. We would do a lot of music like this. We wouldn't do this one. This is pretty advanced, but yeah, it kind of transports me back to that time when I was singing a lot as a kid, as a high schooler, and I don't know, I like that feeling. I get a little bit, I think with Jamie, we do a little back and forth in Libiamo, and I'm very excited about that because I may never be a Violetta, but I can pretend for a second, and I'm excited about that. Yeah.
We all want our moments. Well, Jamie, what about you? What are you excited about? What Copeland are you guys doing? Can you tell me?
Copeland. Oh, I don't know if I'm in the Copeland.
That's
Um,
Ariana Solo.
Yeah, the only Copeland that's on the list is a piece that our friend Ariana's doing.
Oh, okay.
And so she's doing from the 12 Dickinson songs, Why Do They Shut Me Out of Heaven? which
That's a
is
good one, though.
classic, right? Like
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
the 12,
Yeah.
I would say that it's definitely one of the more familiar ones
Mhm.
for our audiences. So that should be really, really fun.
So, Jamie, are you in the opera scenes then?
I am in. It's funny. I get to sing a little bit in the Libiamo that I think is hilarious because I get to be a tenor for a minute. So as a high baritone, a fair amount of people think I am a tenor. So for any of them that ever wanted to hear me be a tenor for a second, you'll get your wish in this. So that'll be fun.
Well, I hear a little tenor in there. If you just get that placement a little bit behind the nose, you'll have it.
Yeah.
But cool, that's awesome. How about you, Megan?
Yeah, just piggybacking off of everything else. I love Vaughan Williams, so I'm very excited to do this one. I hadn't really heard of it before Anne-Marie presented it to us, and we all get little solo lines and then come together in this gorgeous, just big, huge piece. Traviata is very exciting. We're doing the Libiamo. Again, car commercials. I love that phrase. Sorry. We all get our chance at being Violetta. But I am a Puccini girl through and through. So we do end the concert with Bevo al tuo fresco sorriso. And we did a snippet of that in our fall concert. I had to remember it's February now. We just did that in November. And Puccini does it every single time with this piece. And I think it's perfect to end with. It's very romantic. And Tiffany and Joseph, they're doing the duet from it that leads into the finale. And if you don't know this piece, it's from Rondine, and it's just breathtaking. I'm very excited for this. I can sing Puccini night and day.
Well, La Rondine is that beautiful, rare opera. It's like the Viennese version of La Boheme, with its nice ensembles and pretty melodies. It's not the pathos of Tosca, but it is still that beautiful arc of melody that only Puccini can give us. That's awesome. How about you, Esteban? Besides singing La Parella, what else will you be singing?
Well, I'm gonna be in the ensembles, like the choral pieces. And I really like Nella Dolce from La Rondine. It's I find it it's pretty. It has like a lot of movement. Like it's not stopping at any moment. It's just going and going and going and going. Like the waves of the ocean. Like the motion that they have. Like they're going out, but underneath they're going back. It's like that. I feel it's something that has that movement, or at least it gives me that sense. So I'm really excited about that. It's really pretty, like I mentioned. The Vaughan piece, I'm excited about that too because I rarely sing in English, so it's something that I'm excited about.
Cool, excellent. Well, if you all had one thing to say to the audience that's coming, what would you say, Alexandra?
I think I would say definitely buy a ticket, tell your friends. The Verdi Chorus and the Fox Singers, we always put on a good show. And I think you'll really be blown away by the level of talent that there is. And it's going to be magical. And you'll be thinking about it days after you've seen the concert.
Nice, nice. Amelia?
Piggybacking off of that, sorry, I'm kind of stealing some material here. I've invited a lot of people, and I invited my friends to one of the choral concerts, not a Fox singer concert, and they were thinking about that for days after, and they still talk about it, and they say to me, it was so cool to go to the opera. Like that's what they considered as going to the opera. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, that wasn't literally that, but thank you for coming and please keep coming. So I think to see us individually, like in such a wonderful like buffet of operatic pieces, I think that I think that it'll stick with viewers for many, many more days. You know, I agree with Alexandra there. So
Excellent. No, I've heard that about the Verdi chorus. And the people who come are very loyal. They come every year with and they look forward to it, and they bring lots of enthusiasm to the concerts always. It's a very lively room. Jamie, what about you? What would you say? What was the one thing you would say to people that you want to come to the show?
I would just say that don't miss this concert. It's going to be really cool because for one reason why is because all of these talented singers got at least a hand in picking their own rep for this. So it's all things that we love to sing and we feel we do well. So, and everyone in this group is amazing and has something to bring to the table. And, you know, I'm excited to see what that is.
Megan?
The buffet of food.
I'm just hungry. That's why I said
Thanksgiving in February, quote unquote. Jamie said we've all chosen these pieces and they mean something to us. I mean, even Anne-Marie, she speaks from the heart when she makes these programs. She does it with clear intentions and she wants the audience to go on this journey with her. And it is opera to a lot of people. And if you haven't been exposed to an actual 2 to 3 hour opera and it's structured in a box, like this is your thing to see, that it is unstructured. It is so many talented artists and pieces and emotions and passion put together and just vomited on stage. And we do that because we turn our insides outwards. So you're going to feel spiritually, emotionally, physically connected to this music and this concert. Like it will change you. This is why I do what I do. This is why we all do what we do, is because we feel something deep within us and we need to share it. We need to get it out. Music makes me cry. Music makes me laugh and feel connected to people. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to truly connect each other on a level that is magical.
Wonderful. In the
Well
Roman vomitorium, no less. of our buffet.
Come bask in my vomit.
You're vomiting after this buffet. That's it.
The Serenade to music is taking a deep turn to the south, but that's all right. It means it's all passion, and that's what we're about. Esteban, what would you tell an audience, a person that you wanted to come to the concert?
I will say, if this is your first time attending to listen to this kind of music, you will not regret it, because it's fun, it's passionate, and your mind will be blown by being in contact with this kind of art. So I just will encourage people to buy their tickets.
Awesome. Well, this wonderful concert is one night only, Saturday, February 25th, at the usual spot, the First Presbyterian Church of Santa Monica. So I hope that all of you will come out. It's been great to have all of the Fox singers with me today. It was very titillating to get your different views on music and how it evolves, and opera in particular. You know, this is an art form that I've been entangled with since I was 12 years old and have loved very much. And it's really great to see all of you emerging into your careers and getting these great opportunities to shine your voice, soul, and passion. So thank you very much for coming on today. And I hope that everyone will go out and see this a very amazing concert, the Verdi Chorus with the Fox Singers.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
you very much. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to report back that we had a great interview. The interview will go live the week of the concert, so I use it to get those single ticket sales. And they've become very popular. We did Nathan Grainer last time and his wife, and Jamie, I believe her name is, and we had a really great time. We talked shop and some, which is always fun to do. So good luck, you all, and keep on singing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah.